Welcome back, people, to another episode. Tonight we are looking at Palantir. Palantir has seen a lot of interesting action over the past week. If we're looking at this one, it is starting to pull back. This is a fantastic sign. Again, if we go over here to the more simple Yahoo Finance charts and type in PLTR to have a look at how this one has been moving, we can see that overall the past day, which was Friday, was very green for the stock. Obviously, it didn't move too much towards the end of session, but basically we saw a big dip, which looked like it was going to lead to a further sell-off, but actually we picked ourselves up, which is fantastic. Again, this becomes a bit more apparent looking closer in to the past 5 days. Again, a bit of that sell-off is still in this one from the past 5 days, basically leveling out on Tuesday and starting to go back up from the absolute lows down here, which were in the $22 range. And yeah, we've picked ourselves up there. We fell down a little bit further down to this $22 range again, but obviously we have now continued to rise. And this comes after a great 6 months for Palantir. Palantir at the start of this 6-month period was sat at a price of $9.89. So again, if you'd have bought this one back then, you'd have doubled your money and then some on the share price. But there's no point looking at what has happened. Let's look at what could happen, because even then we can see that highs of Palantir back in January were at above $39. So again, pretty fantastic. And the question is, can we get back up there? Well, obviously I am not a financial advisor, so do make sure to do your own research and all that kind of good stuff, as this is only my opinion, but all of that is coming up in this video. If you may enjoy it, do make sure to smash that like button and that subscribe button as well. It's completely free, guys, and it would also help us out a lot. So yeah, we're going to start off by looking at the fundamentals of the company and then why this one could start to rise going forwards, looking a bit more in depth at the technical charts. Right, so we're going to start over here on LinkedIn, because in my eyes this does sum up the company pretty well. So if we have a look down here, about us, at Palantir, NYSE Palantir, SPLTR, so again that is the symbol, we can see that they are helping the world's most important institutions to use their data and solve their most urgent problems. Now this point is true and it is important. The world's most important institutions, they really have some big contracts on their side. We're going to look at some of their clients in a little bit, but yeah, they really do have some amazing clients. I think this is fantastic. So yeah, that is a good sign as well. Anyway, if we move on to the second line, we can see our software lets customers integrate and analyze all of their data so that they can answer questions they couldn't before. From delivering disaster relief to building safer automobiles, we are honored to help make our partners better at their most important work. So this basically tells us what the company does. Obviously they're kind of like a data company. I'm sure you already know this, but that sums things up very simply. Again, together with our customers, we are building the future of national security, healthcare, energy, finance, manufacturing, and more. And we need bright minds from around the world to join us. So basically, excluding that last part of the line, we can see what the company does and the kind of sectors that they work within. They have a lot of big contracts with a lot of famous companies which you may or may not have heard of, but yeah, I think this is a fantastic company from a fundamental standpoint, as you may or may not be able to tell already. So far we can see that according to LinkedIn, the company size is between 1,001 and 5,000 employees. So they do have quite a lot of people, headquartered in Denver, Colorado, and it was founded back in 2003. So it's been going strong for a very long time now, and I think that is also quite important. It's been around for about 17-18 years, and that is a very long time. So again, if we look into a bit more detail at the company, we'll be able to see as well more important information about the company if we do have a look on the OTC Markets website. Again, other sites are available to find this kind of information out, but I did actually have OTC Markets open anyway, so we just gave it a quick search in there. Basically, from the 9th of the 4th of this year, we can see that the market cap was at 42 billion. That's a very large number. The amount of outstanding shares, according to the the 19th of the 2nd was 1.75 billion outstanding shares. So again, that is a large number, not quite as large as some of the other stocks which we look at on this channel, but it is quite a good number once more. And again, PLTR stock is still doing good, but I just wanted to bring that number to your attention if you were wondering. So there you go. Again, now let's have a quick look at some of the contracts which they do have on their side. Now, one which we spoke about quite a long time ago was their NHS contract, which is of course the National Health Service in Great Britain, and this contract was apparently for $31.5 million. Again, NHS is a rather large company, and I think it is a great thing that they have won this contract. Now, in more recent days, we can see that they have actually won a government contract, and if we have a quick look over on Seeking Alpha, we actually hear a bit more good news about the company. So we can read the head title of this article here. It says, Palantir, ARK is buying, am I buying, new contracts have wet ink, and 2 new sectors could be on the horizon. So this gives us a bit of a summary of what is going on. We can see down here, reading this a bit more detailed summary, Palantir continues to expand upon their relationship with the United States government, and several new contracts have been signed under the Biden administration. Fantastic news, United States government, that is a very big contract to win indeed, so great stuff to see there. Anyway, Palantir has invested in Sarkos and lithium, which could be the future of the aviation and robotics industry. So that is cool, and that is good to see. Doors may be opening for Palantir to create software and infrastructure for these next 2 industries. So this is good. This is fantastic. Again, 2 completely new industries which they can definitely potentially expand into going forwards. So fantastic news. And again, I suppose this is what they were talking about when they said about this new sector being on the horizon. On top of that, we have ARK Invest and Cathy Wood continuing to add aggressively to their position in Palantir. And then we can see down here this person who wrote this article, which is called Stephen Forilio. I'm not even going to try and read that, but yes, this person is apparently adding to Palantir as it has potential to become one of the best opportunities of the 2020s, according to this person. Well, I think Palantir does have a lot of potential on it still. I think now that the price has risen so much, people are definitely quite skeptical looking at it, thinking that, the price is a bit too high. Personally, I do not believe that is the case. I think when we actually look at the fundamentals of Palantir, they are fantastic. The company's value is massive, and rightly so. They have some great contracts with some really great companies as well. And I think going forwards, they do have real world potential, and a lot of it. I think Palantir can absolutely make it back up to the highs that we were seeing previously, and I would love to see that happen. I think this time, if we're looking at big growth on Palantir, which we absolutely could be, I would like to see this be a bit more slow and stable, as last time, in my opinion, whilst it was good growth, it was just a bit too fast. And ultimately, one thing that happens, generally speaking, when we see growth happen pretty quickly, we actually see the share price continue to drop after that, as these people who were getting into this one for quick profits have probably sold out now. I think, you know what, that's fair enough, but ultimately, we do want to see more slow and stable growth, and in that sense, we are in a great position now for Palantir. Again, we're going to be looking at the fundamentals a bit more, the technicals a bit more towards the end, but that is just from a fundamental standpoint what we have seen. I think it is fantastic. Last revenue report that we got was actually pretty decent. Revenue was better than expected, as we can see up here. So again, it was a 4th quarter loss, but the better than expected revenue actually was a good sign. So revenue in the 4th quarter was about 322 million compared to 307 million, which was expected according to surveys of analysts. So that is fantastic. The loss per share was 8 cents, which is not great, but again, it is not comparable to the estimates, which is good. Again, the company said average revenue per customer for 2020 came to 7.9 million, up 41% from 2019, as its top 20 customers generated 33.2 million each on average in 2020, which was up 34% year over year. I think this information is pretty important. It's good, and it does show us the kind of things that we are dealing with through 2020 and going forwards into 2021. So personally, what I'm trying to say in this video is that I think that revenue for Palantir will be fantastic this year. If we can see growth anywhere similar to what we saw in 2020 for Palantir, which I believe we can, I think we'll be in a great position. I think we'll definitely have the fundamentals being very strong enough to actually justify a price of perhaps $40, if not more. I think right now we're in a great position when looking at Palantir. Again, as we have spoken about earlier, the price actually hit lows down here. We can see this was a few days ago. Now, since then, we have actually come up a bit, which is fantastic. Now, if you do notice on the screen, I have actually drawn a line through the price of Palantir. And this line is a bit of resistance which we have been hitting recently. If we do have a quick look, we have hit this one in the past. We hit a resistance at a very similar level down here. This was back in March. We hit a very similar level of resistance here. And we are hitting a very similar level of resistance right here for Palantir. Now, Friday was a great sign. We saw a big green candlestick and it almost broke through it, to be honest, but it did not do so. Again, we are looking to get past that $24 and about 24.1 cent range. So again, $24 roughly has been a bit of a resistance that we have been seeing previously. I think going forwards into next week, I would love to see us smash past this one and get back up to the $25 range by the end of Friday. I would love to see nothing more. I think it is definitely possible with where we stand right now for Palantir. Again, the fundamentals of this company are fantastic. I think we definitely can get back up to the highs that we saw of $40, maybe even higher than that going forwards. I think it's absolutely possible in the next 12 months. That's just my personal thoughts, but looking at the actual fundamentals, I think we're in a very strong position for this company. It's just what I believe, guys, but please do tell me what you think down below in the comment section. I thought I'd just make another quick update looking at Palantir because you guys do seem to enjoy updates on Palantir. So ultimately, I'm happy with how this one was moving towards the end of last week. I'm very, very glad it picked itself back up, and hopefully going forwards, we can see this one continue to rally and break past this level of resistance that we have been seeing more recently. So thank you for joining me for this one. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye until then.